Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome. Hello. It's a very special evening tonight. It's very nice to be here. It's nice to be heard. It's nice to have a microphone. It's nice to have help. This is evening. This is obviously part of Ray Bradbury Week. My name is Geoff Boucher. I write for the Los Angeles Times, and I'm very happy to be here tonight. Very happy to be in a room with some very special people, and we're going to hear more about that. But first, I'd like to bring up the person that's the driving force behind Ray Bradbury Week. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Paul Leiva.
Excuse me, I'm a little out of breath. My heart's going a little pitter-patter. I just came back close to one of Mr. Hefner's girlfriends. Excuse me, a little sweaty. Hey, welcome. Ray Bradbury Week got kicked off beautifully, a little precursor with a birthday party at one of Ray's favorite bookstores, Mystery and Imagination in Glendale. And they were, you can applaud for Mystery and Imagination. We were hoping to be here for them to sell you some books tonight. But here's what happened. At the birthday bash with Ray, they sold out of books there. They go to the warehouse to get more books, the warehouses are out. So I think bookstores around the country ordered a lot of Ray Bradbury books because his 90th birthday was coming up. So my apologies for that. Also, just to let you know real quick that unfortunately Mr. Bradbury regretfully will not be able to sign autographs tonight. This week has been intense for him, I think you can imagine, and we're trying to reserve his energy as much as possible. He has another thing to go to on Thursday night, and it's been fun for him. On Friday at the City Council made a resolution to make it legal, whatever the term is, that this week is Ray Bradbury Week in Los Angeles. I have gone to Council President Eric Garcetti's office and his wonderful senior advisor, Heather Repenning, and we talked about, I said, should somebody in LA officially do something for Ray Bradbury? She said, yes, we think we should, so let's meet about it. So we sat down and met. Now, when we sat down to meet, there's a few items in the newspaper about budget problems in the city, and so I thought, well, there was this monument I wanted, and there was renaming the city Bradbury City, but I thought maybe they wouldn't go for that. So I said, look, what you can do that costs no money is what city councils always do. They name so-and-so day. I said, Ray Bradbury's too big for a day. I'd like a month, but I'll take a week. They called back in 2 days and said, you got a week. And then I said, holy shit, I've got a week. I've got to fill it with somebody. So basically what I did is went out and stirred pots. I stirred pots with the Writers Guild of America, which I'm a proud member of, and proud member of, and they have been incredibly helpful, not just for what they're part of Ray Bradbury Week, but they turned over their publicity department to me so we could publicize the whole week, and I thank everybody at the Writers Guild. So, Ray was at the City Council when this proclamation was given. It was hugely emotional. I have on video Ray and I crying together. That's what I may put in my time capsule. And then last night, I was honored to direct one act by Ray, The Better Part of Wisdom. I had as my cast James Cromwell, Seamus Dever from Castle. Anybody watch Castle? You know the Irish cop that helps him? Cute guy. He was great. And a lovely, lovely actor named Geoff. They did a wonderful job. Just before we go out, Ray tells us, by the way, this is the world premiere. It's never been performed before. I said, thank God you didn't tell me that before. But it was beautiful, it was emotional, it was great. It's a wonderful one act. Tonight we are here for this, to celebrate not only Ray Bradbury, but the incredible effect on his career and friendship that Mr. Hugh Hefner has offered to Ray Bradbury, and to a lot of other great writers. You are one of my champions. You're one of my champions, personal heroes, just to let you know. And it's not necessarily because of the centerfold, but I did unfold it now and then. And then, tomorrow there's going to be a cute thing happening, maybe that's the wrong word, but the Green School of Hollywood in West Hollywood are going to put on a student-adapted and student-performed performance of the play Fahrenheit 451. That's in West Hollywood. Check the details about that. Thursday, we're going to be at the Central Library, and we're going to screen The Wonderful Ice Cream Suit, one of Ray's favorite adaptations of his work. Joe Mantegna is going to be there, who was one of the stars. Clifton Collins Jr., the director, and Ray talking about that. We may get Ray, we may get Eddie James Olmos. I haven't heard yet, but we may get him there. And then on Saturday at the Paley Center for Media, we're showing 3 productions on television that were based on Ray Bradbury short stories, including the wonderful Banshee from the Ray Bradbury Theater. So check all that, and we hope you come out to all that. Everybody in all those organizations that helped me, a big thank you. I can't name you one by one. It would take too long. And that is the end of my spiel for the moment, and I bring back Geoff Boucher.
Everybody again, thank you, Stephen, for doing all this. It's an amazing thing to see this come together. The word icon gets tossed around a lot in this era, in this world, in this town, quite a lot. But we're fortunate tonight to actually have some true icons here. 2 of them you know about. I want to mention that, ladies and gentlemen, Buzz Aldrin is here too. Buzz? And so outstanding, welcome to you. Thanks for being here tonight. And of course, it's difficult to think about the American conversation without thinking about our 2 guests of honor tonight. So I'm going to bring those gentlemen up. Let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, our first guest tonight, Mr. Hugh Hefner. Birthday boy himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ray Bradbury. I think Stephen's going to hold the microphone to help Ray. Is that right?
Right, and can I make one quick announcement?
Of course.
Also in the audience, along with the same row as Buzz Aldrin, is the co-director of the animated film Lion King, co-wrote the book for the musical, Mr. Roger Allers. He was one of the contributors to Ray Bradbury, the Illustrated Man, that you saw running through here. That was original artwork by 18 different animators as their gift to Ray Bradbury, because he's always loved animation. That's who he is. Okay, go.
And before we start the conversation tonight, we also have a quick special presentation for Ray. Could Richard Staten join us? You have a special gift, and Richard is the editor-in-chief of Written By magazine, the Writers Guild.
Hi, how are you doing? Hey, Ray. When we were first contacted by Steve for the magazine, what will we do for the cover? We have to do something special for Mr. Bradbury, who's influenced every writer I can think of in the Writers Guild and outside of it. So I talked to Steve, and Steve said, well, let's do an animated cover. Let's do an animated, that's a good idea. And I talked to Ron Tamarillo, the creative director of the magazine, who handles all the graphics and who's taping this event tonight, right in the front row here. And Ron and I decided, yes, that's what we're going to do. So how do we find a good animator, somebody who'll do it right, who cares about your work? These are illustrators, right? So I went to Roger Allers on Steve's suggestion of The Lion King and said, would you like to do this? And he said, I'd like to, but I have absolutely no time to do it. Let me think about it. I said, would you think about it? He said, yes, let me think about someone who might do it. And someone I'll recommend. So that was the end of that phone call, and I figured that'll be the last I'll ever hear from him. And lo and behold, about 4 days later, he called me and said, or emailed me, I can't remember anymore. He recommended an artist from Pixar named Lou Romano, who does the voices for many of the characters you've seen, as well as the illustrations, who had been influenced by Ray Bradbury. So I thought, well, I'll give him a call. So I gave him a call, and was quite stunned to listen to his analysis of Mr. Bradbury's work and his influence on Mr. Bradbury. And I've never imagined that an artist, graphic artist, could have read so many books and knew much more than I had about his work, about your work, Ray. So we talked about it, we did the contract negotiation, and Lou had one stipulation among all the standard clauses and all that stuff. He said, and I've never heard this before, he said, I'll do it only under the condition that at the end of the process, I can come down to LA and personally give Mr. Bradbury my portrait after it's finished. I've never heard that before. And I said, sure, well, that'd be easy to do. Well, here we are months later. The painting is in. It's on the cover. And thanks to Pixar, Lou couldn't come down. I'm sorry to say. He's working on Deadline right now, and he wouldn't tell me the name of what he's working on, which I thought rude.
It's a film called Deadline.
Deadline USA, they're remaking it as Pixar's next flick. You heard it here first. Hefner Bogart will be portrayed by
Lou Romano.
Lou Romano. There you go. So anyway, so what we did was figured a way around it, and so in lieu of Lou being here, he's a fascinating fellow, he sent a statement he'd like read.
And I'm going to read the statement as Richard gets the original painting. Mr. Bradbury, this is from Lou Romano, Ray. In high school, you took me to Mars, and I didn't want to leave. I could have stayed forever, but I had to come back down to Earth. Anytime I want to take another trip to Mars, go to the Dark Carnival, or travel through time, I read your books. Anytime I want to play movies in my head and see things I can't have a problem and need visual inspiration, I read your books. I've been reading them for the last 20 years and look forward to reading them more and seeing in my mind's eye the pictures you inspire. So please accept this picture as a birthday gift and a sign of appreciation for the amazing places you've taken me. Many thanks, much love, Lou Romano.
Fantastic.